what I always say, okay, look, let's look for this, we'll do this, let's farm this. I may not be able to keep as much detail as she can keep. So if the money is in my hands, it will go. I won't tell you exactly where it went. If she's a bit more melancholy, she can say, okay, this is what we spent on, this is where it went to. So it's really about understanding yourselves, having a goal together as a couple. This is where we want to be 5 years time, 10 years time, and then working together, each person having their roles to make it happen. Now, for me, finance is a because finance connects all of us. So whether you like it or not, you must spend money. Okay, you will spend money. Whether you earn or not, you will spend. Now, because finance is so involved with all our lives, we can use our relationship and teamwork in finance to influence other aspects of our marriage. So if I am able to work as a team on my finance, I can take that principle with me and then try and work on other parts of my marriage as well. But with family finance, teamwork makes the dream work. Know your money, my money is our money, our goals. All right.
Mrs. Danielle wants to say something.
Okay, I would just also really like to chip in. Like he said, I think it's about competence because as individuals, when we come into the marriage, we bring our different personalities, and having a financial personality is one of them. So if as a family unit you are seeing yourself more as a team, as a partnership that is not necessarily 50-50, sometimes somebody may be the one bringing in 90% while the other person brings in 10%, as long as the 100% is complete. So you look at your relationships as and your values in the marriage as who would most likely make us benefit the more. So if it's the wife that has more competence in handling financial issues, then she will be the one to handle it. And if it's the man, then he will be the one. And also, like you said, everything what you do, within your finance also affects other areas. So once you have a good relationship in one aspect of your marriage, it's likely to translate into the others. And from a religious perspective, yes, the man, one of the favors that God has given man is to be the head, to be the provider, at least from an Islamic point of view. But being the provider, sometimes the irony is that the man has the lesser pay, so to say. He is the one that is earning less. And indeed, God was instructive in showing us that example because in the life of the Prophet of Islam, his first wife was not just 15 years older than him, she was also like his employer. She was richer than him. And indeed, one of the things that attracted her to him was the way he handled her business. But when they got married, she very readily handed over the reins of the affair. And what I tell people is that in marriages, how many of us can act like Muhammad and Khadija did? In the sense that if your wife earns more than you, are you still man enough to use that money wisely? Most times you see men whose wives have the money, they're the ones doing the work. They'll take her car when she has gone out and then be carrying girls around. Or the woman, would she have that humility to still be submissive to her husband and not say, Daddy Farida, why why would you just take that car out? You saw that I just repaired it, and make the man feel less of a man. So sometimes the tables are turned. What matters is how well are we individually able to still abide by those principles and live well with each other.
Thank you very, very much. So we will take questions from the audience. Yes, please. Is there a mic for? Oh, is there a mic for the audience? Okay, let me give that.
While we're waiting for the first question to come up, I want Dimawobi to talk to us about, just very briefly, the FSC approach to finance. Because I know that in family systems engineering, we have a particular way we approach finance. So please, just help us briefly before we get to the first question.
Okay. With the family systems engineering approach, we see family finance as a family economy, just like everyone has shared, where nobody owns anything, everything is brought to the common cause as family economy, and all the earnings are the internally generated revenue of the family that will be disbursed according to agreed budgets. Sometimes you bring in this money and the man takes, the wife takes, no. The family has to agree on a budget. And it brings to mind this myth about the man being the breadwinner. A lot of men are died prematurely because of the pressure of that. And sometimes you see in families competent women who can go out there and work and bring into the family. But because we're following the societal generalization that is the man that has to earn, what happens? Why would a woman be kept at home who has more earning potentials than a man just because the man is supposedly the breadwinner? So in family systems engineering, we do not believe that anybody is the breadwinner. Both of them bring in their funds together to form the family economy and to disperse according to agreed budget.
Thank you very much. So can we hear the first question? And who would you like to answer that question?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My name is Miss Fumi Raji. I work with the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. My question is this. We've been talking about family help since morning, and I'm so surprised nobody mentions sex in marriage. I'm reading you.
Calm
So
down,
I'm
calm down,
surprised. Is it like taboo to talk about sex?
calm
That's
down.
my question.
Sex is a vital part. We have another panel, madam. So we're going to discuss it. We're
Is she?
discussing every area of family life.
Yes.
Thank you.
That tells you how serious that matter
It's
is.
very serious something.
The two most critical issues
Finance, sex.
are finance and
Mm.
sex. Yes. We will
Yes.
get there.
We will get there. We handle finance, we'll handle sex.
Good
All right.
afternoon. Good
Thank you.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jumoke Alaode James. I'm a journalist. A lot of the questions that I came here with today have been answered. I'm very grateful for the panel. So, finance, we should work as a team. Women should learn to talk to their men. Gently, we should look at the abuser as a victim also. But a lot of the things that we hear usually are addressed to the women. There's somebody abusing you. They say, Kini what else of phone? What did you say to him? You know, how do we help women? They won't come to conferences like this. You said that you will take it to them in their business conferences and things like that.
Some of you are here.
And I feel like we're here
Just
to
some of you.
actually applaud them
Although we
because
actually have more men here today.
it's not usual to find men in this conference. A
Where's the men in the building? A round of applause for the men. We're getting there.
So if a woman has a man who is not willing to go for counseling with her, how does she help her marriage?
All right. So we also have a question here that I also
Exactly, that follows that same
can we
conversation.
answer,
If I compare my
can we
name,
answer this one first so that yes, you know, because we have another question here that says that okay, um, there's a problem and we have heard that we need counseling, we need help, but the man doesn't want to go. How do you get him to go for counseling? You know, and so I'm going to direct that the two questions at Pastor Tony and David.
Um, in a case where one of the spouses is the one who is interested in getting help, there are ways that she can start. Now we're thinking that it's the man that is not coming, so I'm going to use she. Sometimes it's the women that are not willing to come. So that particular spouse who is willing to seek intervention starts to act on the remedial solutions given to her. If you're not able to get your partner, it begins change starts from one person. Change starts from you. And if we say that it takes two to tango, there might be some areas in your life or your relationship with that spouse that you need to address. So start the intervention on yourself. Begin to act on it. Your partner sees the change. With time, he may come along with you. Even if he doesn't come along with you, we want to be able to lead you to a place where you are at peace with yourself. Because only wholesome people build wholesome relationships. So if you are in the relationship and you are not happy, can we work with you to get your happiness back? Can we work with you to begin to do those things that you need to do as your part in the relationship? And there are ways you can do it where you can get the interest of that person. I give you an example. A spouse once came to us and the husband was not interested in anything. So we began work with the lady, and from her we have assessments that we give out. So she got to feel the assessment of her perception of her husband. So we identified the personality of her husband. Then one of the things we told her was she needed to start a fitness program. So she started jogging, she started taking care of herself and all of that. Because from the assessment, we got to know that her husband was someone who was visually stimulated. Okay. By the time she had started this jogging, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, the third week as she was jogging, the husband was jogging behind her. This was somebody who was not interested in any form of intervention. But that got him interested. What is happening to my wife? Why is this really changing my wife? So I don't want anybody who has an unwilling spouse to feel that, hey, there's no hope. No. We start the interventions from yourself. We get feedback from the kind of person your partner is, and we can weave in some interventions that could get him interested.
But I think we should also talk about this is correct. But how about an extreme case where the woman has done all she must do in terms of your intervention principles and the universal schools, but the man continues to chase her, maybe abuse or neglect. But my situation, if there is emotional abuse or damage system, I would always ask for a removal of the place of abuse.
So, Bill, I want you to, I mean, one thing that is coming out more and more is where are the men? And how can we reach the men? That's one question that I keep hearing. But I think that, there is a place that a lot of men are, and we need to begin to use, and that's social media. Now, how do we, I mean, much as you are here, how do we begin to use this platform to begin to teach and speak truth? You are the expert. You know, this in this virtual world, there's 3.4 billion people. How do we effectively use this platform to correct, these things that we're talking
Um, well, I like when we start. Um, I believe that there's a story of a man who was on his deathbed and said he realized too late how to change the world. And he wanted to change the world because yes, then he realized that he can't change the world, that he should start from his country. Then he spent 10 years trying to change his country and realized he couldn't really change his country. He has to start from his state. Then he spent 10 years trying to change his state, he realized he has to start from his local government. And by the time he was coming to die, he had gone from world to nation to state to local government to family. And then on his deathbed, he realized that the person should have changed it. I believe that the first thing we need to do, and all of us here present, so is be the change. Start from, I'm hearing something, I'm learning something today. Start from that. We can't give what we don't have. So we first of all need to ensure that what we are getting, we really have. And that starts from, so if you are here, if you are the one who is privileged to know first, and I've experienced this many times, so I've seen men come for meetings and conferences that were done, and then by the time they will come, second, third time, they come with their wives. I've seen women come, and then the men get curious and wonder what's happening with my wife, and notice some changes, and then they come. I believe sometimes our impatience wants us to get it done like yesterday, and in that impatience, nothing happens. So we spend 20 years impatiently trying to get results in 3 months, and every 3 months we end up in 20 years not getting any results. Versus waiting and say, you know what, this is a 1 year thing. Let me be patient. I like the way the Bible structures it. It says, look, it's not, I can't complain that my wife is not submitting. If I have learned that I need to love, I take care of myself. When I love sufficiently, my wife will submit. If I'm the one that has found that I need to submit, I forget that she's not loving me enough. When I play my role well, he will get curious and wonder what exactly is going on. So I believe, yeah, social media provides a fantastic opportunity to reach a million people at the same time. But you know what? I realize as well that change is not it's never really instantaneous. You can start the process, you can create the interest, people can begin to follow and say there's something here, but it always comes to be authentic. So when my message is not connected with my reality, my power to make change happen is reduced. But when I'm authentic, so my life and my words are aligned, and there's power to really, really make a change.
Fantastic. And on that note, we'll have to bring this panel to a conclusion because time is of essence. Now, if you have any further questions, we will take it in the next panel. So if you wanted to have asked a question, we've noted you, sir. Sorry? Fantastic. I'd like to thank my co-panelists. Let me even call them co-panelists because you guys have touched some very, very critical points. And my prayer is that the conversations that we have started today may go forth as truth that set many more marriages and families free from ignorance in Jesus' name. Thank you very, very much. God bless
We
you.
can do better than that. We can
Well,
do
I'm
better
sorry,
than that.
panelists. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. We don't take this for granted. We really appreciate all your contribution. Okay. I think if we didn't take anything at all, one major thing is we should all be open to learning, right? And that assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. A lot of us just write the assumptions and then we get into error. So I believe that we'll start to correct this. All right, moving on ahead now. We've been talking about family systems engineering, what is it all about, and all of that. There's a certification attached to this, the name of this course. And we have some people that are actually certified practitioners. They've gone through the training. I'm also privileged to be one of them. Gone through the trainings and very intense trainings. You know, some of us have had to defend the certification, so it's not just paper certification. The defense goes as far as you actually treating real life cases, marking out like 100 hours and all of that. So have to actually, give honor to whom honor is due. So we're going to call up the practitioners that are going to be certified today. And to do this, to handle this, I have the privilege of calling Praise Kowe and Chidima Wobi to the stage. A round of applause as they come. Chidima is our principal for the FSA school. And of course, Praise is the visionary of the whole stuff. So Praise, Chidima, please come up to the stage.
Thank you very much. This is a very short session. We don't intend to take your time because we have to go to the second panel. Product System Engineering is trying to fill the gap of, we have a lot of unlicensed, practitioners on social media. So someone goes on social media, and that's why you see celebs have issues with their marriages, and they take it to social media. And I'm wondering, is social media a licensed counselor or family life practitioner? So what we've done is we have a course that is 56 hours in class and 300 hours field work. Now, we started last year, and we have over 100 people have gone through the course. Some of them are, okay, people are clapping. Some of them have completed the 300 hours, some of them have not. So today, the ones who have done 56 hours in class, we're going to give them their lapel, but the ones who are certified are the ones who have done the 300 hours field work and they've done their defense. So I'm going to call on those who have completed the 300 hours to come out first. We're going to lapel them. They have the lapel to say that they've completed their program. We only do this once in a year. I'm going to do it next year. Next year, hopefully. So please, can I have them? We don't have time to waste because we have to go to the second panel. If you have completed your 300 hours, please can we have you on
You know
stage?
yourselves, be very proud. It's not a
Please,
major
let's
thing,
come up,
it's
let's come
something
up.
small. So round of applause to encourage
Dr.
them.
Laure, has come all the way from Babcock to
Yes,
take
a round
this
of
course.
applause.
Please, can we step on the stage, please?
Move forward, sir. We're waiting, we're waiting. Please let's make it snappy.
Where's
Thank
Tolu? Can I have the
you.
lapels, please?
Where are the lapels? Tolu?
Please let's put our hands together for them. The sessions are never easy, very, very intense.
Very
Thank you.
intense.
We'll go to the second panel immediately after now. Where are the others? Where are the lapels?
Can we have the lapels, please? Tolu,
Okay,
where are
I'm going to
you?
allow Dr. Laure to share just a bit of his experience in class. Dr. Laure, by the way, is a chaplain of Babcock University. He's also a lecturer. Please, sir.
Um, Good afternoon, everybody. I took this class September, October last year, and I think the very first thing that I got was a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift that allowed me to see that, the fact that I'm a Christian doesn't make me unique and such that I cannot relate to people of other religions or other cultures. And so I became more sensitive to humanity and the needs of humanity around me. And I remember the day in class when we were asked to dress as people of other faiths. My wife dressed like a woman in hijab. She's a pastor like me. And we had a lot of us like that. And it was very interesting that it changed our views of Muslims or people of other faiths. And then another day we were asked to dress like young people, so we can have the mindset of the youth. I came to class in knickers, and a face cap, and with earphones in my ears, and my shirts out, just and it was fresh because it allowed us to see into the world of the young people that we are called to counsel and minister to. So what I learned from this class is that first, you are called to all humanity. You are called to everybody because you never know who is next to you who needs some kind of intervention. And then secondly, that we are actually building nations, and the nation starts from your home, and that you can be a new ancestor. Because some things didn't work in your family of origin doesn't mean that it can't work from you on. So you can be the change agent. You can be that change that you are looking for. So I was really blessed. My wife is watching from live stream. She's in the US, but we are live streaming this. So she's participating online as we speak. Hi, honey.
Okay, the interesting thing we try to do in class is let's break down the walls that separate us. This fight about I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I am Igbo, I am Hausa, that's right. That's why sometimes in class there's a particular day we ask people to dress, in another religion. And there was a lady, I mean, she's not here today, she's a Deeper Life member. She said she has never Oh, she's around. She said she's never danced to any other music apart from Christian music before. But in class, she danced to all kinds of music. And the day she now dressed like an Ajia, she said it was as if the veil was removed. That she now began to see that all men are the same. Right? And I think that's something we need to promote for ourselves if we have to move forward. To say all we must see is man made in God's image. That's all we must see. Nobody came with a label. We were introduced to the label. So can we begin to promote our humanity as the best of us? Okay, so I'm going to welcome Uncle Azu, the representative of the Excellency, to please come on stage. Coach Larry Olushola, is Innocent around? Innocent Uza is he around? To come and help with the lapelling of these distinguished people. Once they are done, the others will join them. So they are going to receive their certificates and their lapels. We're going to decorate them, sir. So Dima, can we start with, we need to make it snappy. Yeah. So you can help us decorate them with
Everyone
various
is on the
lapels. Yes,
lapel.
all of them.
Please can you stand on a single file so it looks orderly and good for the camera as well?
And the interesting thing is that if they don't perform to expectations, their lapels and their certification can be withdrawn.
Yes.
What we have done is we've created a process where you don't even need to show up for counseling. By taking the assessment, it gives you a professional report about what's happening in your marriage, and that report is 95% accurate, right? And we tested it. That's what we tested in the field. So you no longer have to even show up. When you see your report and you see the recommendation, you cannot decide to do something with it. So can they give them their certificates as well? Clement or Cap 4?
Please step out to collect your certificate. You need to step out.